lot of things closed, and that includes city parks.
That doesn't include just the actual BMX track itself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Could you repeat that? I didn't get that.
So, as with the governor's orders, there's been also orders with certain regarding the BMX track as well.
So it's okay for it to be a homeless camp, but we maintain it and we can't use it?
They're not allowed. No one is allowed on it.
In public? Isn't this public property though?
It's been closed
Can we run
for the city.
cars on it, but if we're not on the track itself? Is that okay? Or like...
Well, so the track also includes the parking lot as well.
Yeah. So, I mean,
And how is this constitutional?
So you guys can be in the parking lot. You guys can be here, just not on the actual track with your cars.
And what law is that exactly? Like, how is that constitutional?
It's the city's directives.
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
The name is right there.
Right there?
Yep.
Thank you. What's your name?
I'm Officer Caldwell.
Caldwell?
Yep.
Okay. Looks like your name's not right there, but thank you. And badge number?
Would you like a business card?
Yeah,
That make
sure.
it easier for you?
Maybe.
Well, with COVID-19, we don't
Yeah,
have.
well, how about this? We'll leave it right there in the middle for you.
Okay.
Would you like that?
Doesn't matter what I like. Is it
Okay.
constitutional?
Here you go. Right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, without declaring martial law, we still have our constitutional right to assemble. You know that, right?
The First Amendment right, you know?
Absolutely. You have the right to.
If it's absolutely, then how does the
People
governor...
assembled here. I'm just saying there's better things to go do than harass us. Please, just
This is part of the governor's orders. This is part that I'm
It's a
enforcing.
constitutional
I'm
thing.
saying you guys can do what you want in the parking lot.
Look at, just come over here and look at this. We take care of this. We work with Parks and Rec. They pay this section for
And
RC cars.
I appreciate that you do that. And just during this time, it's weird for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird for everybody, and we all have to take part in the governor's orders as they are.
Because
Okay,
why?
Go tell all of them to move. We'll leave when they leave.
Well, they're not on the BMX track right now.
Neither are we.
Right there on the
This
track.
is a RC track.
This is the track. The track we maintain, right there. I mean, I go to work every day.
Are you asking us to leave? Are we trespassing on certain property?
For the governor's orders, you're not allowed on the BMX track.
I understand what you're saying about the governor's orders, but the governor has a certain boundary. Just like power comes from the top, state government has to follow the Constitution of the United States. Excuse me?
Well,
Talking to Officer Giebel.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you guys know what's going on. Just keep it off the track. In here is fine.
Are we going to be arrested or
I'm just gonna educate right now.
educate?
Yep.
Okay.
So you have my business cards.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions, you can call.
Thank
All right.
you.
I'll call your supervisor if I have questions.
Yeah, and then the police sent us a message saying shut this down now, so we did. So
Yeah, so that's political retribution. That's against the First Amendment, and that's against our right to gather.
we'll be sure.
This site is closed to the public in accordance with the guidelines from local health authority. Services are available online or by phone, so please feel free to contact us. 541-766-6435. Email is jude.geist, Geist, @corvallisoregon.gov. Hi Jude, I'm calling from the little RC track over here also. Had a couple questions for you. I didn't want to bug you too long. The only questions I really had was the Constitution is supreme law, and what power does the governor have to create law that is supreme to the Constitution?
Lawyer
you're a constitutional expert, so I'm going to let you ask someone along that line. I'm a Parks and Rec Division Manager, so I'm going to follow the direction I get from either my city manager or, in this case, the governor.
Okay, so the city manager was the one that specifically told you?
Well, it came from the governor. The governor says close, as far as the closure of sports courts, playgrounds, and restrooms. That came from the governor's order. As far as closures of additional areas that we've done, that's come from where we've seen social distancing not occurring. And
yeah, because I hear that the disc golf is still open. Is that?
It's still open. There are signs, and we're monitoring. If we are not seeing social distancing, then the next option is to pull those baskets. Correct.
So if I said right now there's 1,000 people playing disc golf right now, are you guys just going to take that as truth and shut down the park?
I will swing out there and take a look at it. Yep.
And if there's not 1,000 people there, will you still consider that was at a time and close down the park, or if you saw with your own eyes or video?
That's that situation as it comes in.
Okay, well, I'm wondering because I did record this situation when the police came up, and it was the same kind of situation. It was a lie about how many people were here. The police came. There was no proof that there was that many.
I'm not going to get into whether it was a lie or not. I'm not going to get into a debate between the police department and the parks department. As staff, I've got a request from the police officer and the police department to close it because of social distancing, and I need to follow that request.
Okay, so it definitely was a request from the police department then. That was, yeah. Okay, well, I'll get back with them again. They're not very talkative. I think they understand that they're in a tough spot. They even told us today that we're putting them in a tough spot, and I tried to let them know the Constitution was here many years before Kate Brown's unconstitutional executive order. So I would say Kate Brown did that. All right, today is April 14th, 10:57 a.m. We're here at the Corvallis Police Department doing a little bit of GoProing. Gonna go talk to the police, ask them some questions.
Use the after hours telephone. Seems a little bit COVID interesting though.
I guess I can do that.
Again, we're at Corvallis.
That's a FOIA request I was going to ask for, and I'd like to speak to some officer in charge. FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act. I was going to ask about, I need information on a call that was made about the RC track on Saturday. I was also going to ask about the police report about the situation. No, this one to reach an operator. Okay. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and just use my cell phone to call in, I guess. Yeah. So do I have to call 911 to get an officer?
Hey, dude. Excuse. Can you help me out with the situation? Just a quick question. Can you get us somebody to talk to? We're requesting freedom of information on a call. we need to speak to a supervisor, and we're getting hit with the roadblock over here.
Yeah, it'd have to be through dispatch on that call.
Okay, so is there a number we can call?
They don't know who to get a hold of.
No, you should just go pick up and it should go to somebody, right?
Yeah, and she didn't know, and so she had me call another number, and it was her again, and she says if I call the Corvallis police, it goes back to her anyways, and she doesn't know how to get somebody here. Is there a supervisor we could get out here, please?
I have to go inside. One second.
Okay, we'll wait. Thank you. Good afternoon.
How can I help you?
We had a little bit of issue the other day at the RC track.
With the RC track?
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually were there minding our own business, staying
Right.
6 feet apart.
Right.
We had we had some person around there, I guess, call, and they said that there was
I appreciate that. You got it in stereo too.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate that. You got it in stereo too.
Heck yeah. So,
We'd like to get some information mainly.
Sure.
We were told in was a newspaper, I guess, it said 15 to 20 people were there. I've got video of all of it, so it's
That's
a false
what the
police
caller
report.
reported.
Absolutely.
so we want to see that report.
I just want to clarify.
We
because-
want to
Sure,
request
records request. if you'd like.
records request. We'd like to do
Yeah,
that. They didn't know on the phone, so of course we saw him in the parking lot, so we hit him up because we were
Thank
like,
you.
hey, we need
We
to
could've
talk
waited
to
here all
somebody.
day.
They don't know what to do on the
Sure.
phone. So,
They do know what to do. You just have to be able to reference the actual incident.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had that incident there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a protest. We were standing up for some rights that we have.
Totally get that.
And so now.
Why you want to drag the police into your protest though?
well, that's
You
the
guys-
government is. I mean, we have the right to protest
Yes, you do.
the government and the government's order. The Kate Brown's order is a suggestion.
Sure.
It's not. It's not law.
Well, you got to take that up with the governor.
Well,
okay,
that's.
okay. Let's say it is. It's the supreme law, the Constitution. Sorry.
It happens multiple times a day.
Okay. You guys didn't plan for this.
No.
So what I'm trying to say though is the Constitution of the United States is the supreme law.
Okay.
So
So
if
you
any
want me to
law-
weigh in on the Constitution?
I'm saying I would like
No.
the blockade to be taken down from the park, stopping us from our constitutional act.
Best guess on how you can address that, and I can only refer people to where the best guess would be. First, it would have to start with the governor's orders.
Okay.
And then if the governor was willing to change the orders, then I suppose that could trickle down to the communities.
But-
Ultimately, the communities have the right to decide what's open and not.
So we are the people, and we are
Not arguing with it, I'm a people too.
We are
But,
here
but
for
do
this
you understand that public parks, yes, they are public, but they're also maintained by the city? So the city has a
And federal.
right to trespass people from its city park.
No, from
If
public.
they're violating
You-
law.
Oh yeah, which was well. That's what I'm trying to say. So, how can law be made by somebody under, like, let's say, a governor, that would maybe take away our Second Amendment right? Would you
Great
enforce
question
that?
for a lawyer.
No, this is you guys enforce Governor Brown's words.
Yes.
Her executive orders that do not trump the Constitution.
Well, that's up to a lawyer.
Did you
to
take an
determine
oath? Did you take an oath to support the Constitution?
that. Seriously.
I'm
What do
asking.
you want me to say, man?
I want you to do what we pay you to do.
Oh,
How can law be made by somebody under, like, let's say, a governor, that would maybe take away our Second Amendment right? Would you
great
enforce
question
that?
for a lawyer.
No, this is you guys enforce Governor Brown's words.
Yes.
Her executive orders that do not trump the Constitution.
Well, that's up to a lawyer.
Did you take an oath? Did you take an oath to support the Constitution?
Seriously.
I'm
What do you
asking.
want me to say, man?
I want you to do what we pay you to do.
Oh, I am doing my job. All of our officers are doing their job.
Okay,
They're doing
well-
the job to the best of their abilities. Clearly, this is unusual times.
So I just would like to go over
unusual
some.
times-
Unusual times
Now,
don't trump.
here's what I
Yeah.
am going to tell you. I am not going to stand here and debate the Constitution.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
I'm
not going to
not.
stand here and get into an argument with you about
See, I knew this was
whether
gonna
it's
happen.
right or whether it's wrong. That's not what my job is.
Okay, I'd
That's not my
like to
job at all.
report criminal activity.
What was the criminal activity?
Well, we went to the park. We told the officers we had the right to assembly, which
Totally
we did.
get that.
We because the
Section
signs that were
242.
posted on the park said, as long as we maintain social distance, which we all were, and we have video of us standing 10 feet apart.
What was the outcome of that contact?
The outcome of that
We don't get to
contact
be in
was
public anymore.
They
What was the outcome of the contact?
they
We were-
walked away,
Yes.
right? And we were right. But
You're
then-
right or wrong, we don't know that for sure, right?
Then-
Because ultimately a judge would have to determine that if,
Nope.
and only if, there was some kind of citation that had come out of it, and there wasn't. There wasn't a citation that came out of that, so there was, in essence, no.
There was threat to in the newspaper article, sir. That makes us fear. Okay.
Fear of what?
Of criminal activity, Class C misdemeanor, and all this.
That was to be determined, right? Just because.
So we can go back and there's no problem?
We go back with the park.
Go
I
back
would ask you
behind the
not to
barricaded?
violate any laws. That's what I would ask.
There-
you.
what
Any law.
would it be violated?
That's what
the
we're trying to
question.
find. We
We've been
asked
asking
for that law.
the whole time. We want to know.
Please
what
explain.
law-
You can read the governor's order.
Yep,
The
we
governor
did.
And you
It's the
can
same law.
abide
Okay.
by any postings that the city would place that restricts the use of what is owned by the city and controlled by the city.
The
Oh, it's
city
not
is-
owned and it's not controlled by.
We
I am
know
here
the
today
city.
to discuss a protest that I and some fellow residents, some people, had the other day at the RC track in Southtown Corvallis.
You're asking me
I-
to weigh on something that.
I'd just like you to listen and then maybe you could tell me I'm crazy.
I'm not telling you you're crazy. You very
Well-
well could be right. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, then we're here to find
I
out.
don't know the answer to that.
You guys can't enforce
You're
law that's
asking me
unconstitutional.
to weigh in on something that is
Okay.
way beyond what I am able to weigh in on. Way beyond.
But you're the boots. You're the boots for the
Oh my
governor.
God.
Yes, and we try to do a job as best we can.
Then you're not
If
doing
you
it.
Do,
How do you know that?
if
Because
do-
you,
You
if
said
you
you're
if
not
you
doing it,
listen
but
to the
what
people,
came out of that
you're
contact?
still not listening to the people.
Yes, I am. You have your opinion on what the law is, and the judges and the lawyers and the governor all has their opinion on what the law is.
Okay.
Ultimately, only if there was some kind of a criminal citation that came out of that, a judge would have to determine whether or not it is a violation or not. A judge makes those determinations.
Okay.
No citations were issued, so we don't have a judge to weigh in on who's right. You're asking me to make a judge's
Okay.
decision. I
What-
don't have
what-
that
what-
ability. That's not my
Retribution
job.
happened. The officers came back.
There was no retribution.
We
Because
don't
you
have
guys-
equal
we have
access to
on
the
video
parks.
the
There's bums
park.
living there
I'm
right
saying
now.
You've got me in stereo right now.
The
Well,
park on video. What I'm
If,
saying.
if you'd
Here's
listen,
what I'm gonna tell you guys.
please, I
I'll
just
be
want to say
glad
this
give
before
you-
we go at
I'll be
least.
glad to give you my business card so you know who you're talking to.
Okay.
You can reference this and post wherever you want to. And I am not going to engage in a debate about the constitutional law or the merits of the governor's orders.
Then
that
I-
is not what the police do. You
Why
guys are
would-
trying to put me in the middle of an argument that you
Call
have.
call your supervisor then.
I am the supervisor. I'm the watch
Well,
commander.
then, shouldn't you know this? Please,
Apparently
please.
somebody's not listening to what I'm saying. Let me give
Okay.
you a business card, and like I said, man, this
But-
is just not something that.
This is something that's so important to me that it's taken hours out of this week because of what you guys did.
I believe you.
So
And
if you
who's
could
the right
spend
person to consult?
20 minutes with us, I'd
You
like
have
to
a
read this.
legal question. The people to consult about legal questions are lawyers.
Unless the
those who
person
give you
coming
legal
at us
advice.
threatening to arrest us for a
I guarantee you they didn't threaten you. They may have advised you what their perspective
Did
on
you
the
see
law
the
they
video
said-
that we recorded?
No.
Did you see their cameras?
Did I
We-
see whose cameras?
Were they on? We would also like in our information request to see if there was any body camera footage of that
Sure.
too. But
I just
this
told
is
you
what
how
I'd
to
like to
get
say.
that.
I see now, since our protest standing for our rights to assemble peacefully, asking for the law. Thank you.
They're asking for what law?
Asking for the law that we would be breaking and not be being provided the law. We continued on with our constitutionally
where you can
secured
find that
liberty
law.
without fear of retribution and retaliation from the police.
You know where you can get the law. The law is on the governor's
Now,
order, right?
there is a barricade restricting access. I would like you to explain to me what power granted to you and by who gives you that right to stop me.
Did I not
and-
tell you? I told you. It's the governor.
Okay,
The governor
and
doesn't
how
have
come
a
nothing
right.
was said?
That's your belief.
And how
No,
come nothing was
Who
said?
can rule on
Please,
that?
please.
A judge.
How come nothing was said to the homeless man in the tent on the track?
They
Living-
have rights as well.
Okay.
right?
Well, then it's not equal between people.
Do you know-
And if you grant rights to one
Here's what
person,
you don't know.
see, this is it.
What you don't know is whether or not.
42
that
U.S.
individual
Code
has served the notice.
1983 Civil Act for deprivation of rights. Sir, I'm
You
trying.
guys are killing me. I'm not even racist.
Sir, I'm trying.
What are you
I am
to
trying
teach
to
me?
report criminal
No,
activity.
you're not.
Yeah, we
No,
are.
you're arguing
18
about the constitutional
USC
rights
242.
and the legal rights of the governor. That's a question for a lawyer.
And then also
not a
look
police
into
officer.
But you should know the laws if you're enforcing.
makes it a
them.
crime for a
Exactly.
person acting under color of
Don't
law.
you think I do?
Any law to
Well,
willfully deprive a person of a right or privilege protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. And these offenses are punishable by a range of imprisonment up to life term or the death penalty, depending on the circumstances.
Would you make
We're
any
gonna go around.
You're-
Come on, fellas, let's walk
Okay,
this way.
thank you.
That's the only way I can get back in the building.
Okay, well, I would like to have this be heard. Now that there's a barricade resisting us for our access, I would like you to explain to me what power is granted to you by who?
And what did I suggest?
You said the governor. So
I said, go read the governor's order.
We did.
And you can take that order to
It's
a
not
lawyer.
law.
It's
A
2012.
lawyer
And if
can
it-
tell you whether or not that is actually law or not. A lawyer can provide that.
Section 2012 of the governor's order says that parks are to remain open for people to get sunshine and social distance.
And the
That's
parks
what-
are open
that's
for
what the
disc
sign
golf,
says.
but not
Okay,
remote
now-
control
now, who
vehicles.
else within the city has the right to decide on what happens in city parks?
See,
The
this-
parks director.
No,
and so we talked to
Constitution.
parks
They
and
can't
we
go over the
recorded them.
Constitution.
Okay, what did parks say?
They said to us that you guys, those officers or somebody, came to them and said, close this park
Oh, there's more to
immediately.
it than that.
Oh yeah, that's what the lady
That's
told
what-
us on the phone.
That's what the lady told
She
us.
told us
And
you guys
Jude.
came and said immediately.
I don't know what you guys
Shuttlesworth versus
Jude
Birmingham. The state, or if the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in the right with
Partner.
impunity.
I've got more time to do than this, man. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you.
Yeah, keep getting paid. How much do you make?
Look it up, man.
Oh
It's all
yeah,
online.
I will. It will be on the video.
I don't know
Because of
you
what
guys want me
appears to be a
tell you.
lawful command on the surface, many citizens, because of their respect for what only appears to be a law, are cunningly coerced into waiving their rights due to ignorance.
We're gonna go, we're
Do you
telling
understand
you,
how to
we're
get the
putting you on
records in place?
judicial notice right now.
I came here to
understand
get
We're gonna
them.
go protest at this
At
park,
the
and we're
facility.
gonna bring
Are those-
100 people or more,
You certainly have that right.
and we will, and we'll be
Just
driving our
all I
RC cars
ask is
while we
that you
do it.
obey the laws. That's all I ask, and that's what the police try to
Cite
do.
the law. Tell me what the law number is, and we'll
Yes.
gladly obey.
I
it.
already did that, didn't I?
No.
What number?
I know you don't agree with me, but yes, I do.
What? Yeah, exactly.
What number of law? How can I look it up? Just
Did I not reference the governor's order? I referenced that, didn't I?
which it becomes law. Okay, so if a governor, Convention of States
The merits of the governor's orders, that has nothing to do with
to
me.
change the Constitution of the
Nothing to
United
do with
States.
Guns, if the governor ordered it.
Come
to-
on, fellas, give me a chance.
I'm just saying, though.
Hey, I would give you more time, but you're running away.
I'm not running away.
Please stay and
This
talk.
is about what?
I have more to say. I'm a third down.
Enforcement has nothing to do with.
But
We
you guys
don't make the
enforce
laws.
They have nothing.
when it's
We
not a law.
don't make the laws.
They say they have nothing to do with this,
with making the laws.
but enforcing the laws.
Yes, that's what we
So
did.
they choose what to enforce. Just like when I talked to the sheriff in Albany, he told me that's not how it works when I try to report crime.
You aren't reporting a crime.
When I did to him, I did.
You aren't
And
reporting a crime.
it's criminal activity. 18 USC 242.
Would you like to look it up?
That's the chicken dance. Chicken dance.
Gentlemen, you have a good day, all right? I hope
Not.
everything
Is
works
there
out for you.
someone else we can talk to?
Just talk to the man.
I'll
Talk
look
to
up
who?
I know who the chief is. I'll look him up.
Feel free.
Corvallis Police. Law enforcement. Law enforcement. We don't ask questions, we just enforce the law told to us by whoever. Unconstitutionally without thinking about, I don't know. Let's see, Convention of States. 2/3 of the people to change the Constitution. And these people believe that one governor can sign paperwork that is equal to taking away our rights. Law Enforcement Building, Benton County. Sheriff's Office, Corvallis Police Department.